Seven of Swords is known as like the ghosting card, or it's like somebody stealing something or trying to take something from you. And I think this is further emphasizing that nobody's going to take your new beginning. It happens to be right on top of the Fool card, which is new beginnings, right? And also to stop focusing so hard on strategy, right? You need to feel into it, not think on it. Because again, your thoughts can end up in a cycle. I can't remember which reading it was. It was sometime in May or the end of April. We talked about cycles and how you can tell the difference between intrusive thoughts and your intuition. And we talked about how you know it's your intuition because it'll only come up once. You'll feel it in your gut or your heart space. You'll know it to be true deep down. And your mind will try to argue with that. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't use discernment in our intelligence. That's not what I'm saying at all. We're talking about the King of Cups energy here, where we use our wise mind, where we can keep a balance between the different parts of our brain, right? And when you can control your nervous system and come out of these harmful relationships and situations and feel calm and balanced and find harmony within yourself, you can move towards things that you're passionate about. You can develop deeper bonds with people and have stronger, more successful unions like the King and Queen of Pentacles we saw earlier, right? For some of you, that's what it's about, is building that dream life with somebody or within yourself. For some of you, you've already done that and now you're looking to start over in life, looking to be on your own new journey, but you've got a lot of baggage you need to process and heal. And part of the spiritual quest is also part of the emotional quest, right? It is about the soul. And then we got the Hermit in reverse. So yeah, coming out of Hermit mode. Because remember, sometimes we keep ourselves hidden away from the world. And if you want to shine your light, not just shine your light for others, but shine for yourself, because we got the Sun in reverse twice. If you want to be happy and you want to be seen for what makes you happy, you have to allow yourself to be seen. This is a lesson I myself have had to learn, okay? I had a legit hermit's journey in the past few years, and I've talked about that. I've got a very intense, passionate audio documentary I shared called Where the Wilderness Meets the Woo-Woo. I think I've got it linked still in the description box at the very end. It's got a trigger warning on it because it's very passionate, and I use a lot of vulgar language to express my journey, so it's not for everyone. And then I just pulled the Seven of Cups. Yeah, don't be confused here, or someone's confused. The Temperance card in reverse. Someone's very confused and being thrown off balance. Again, for those of you, I think I was starting to say, that might be spiritual practitioners. It's possible that someone has intentionally done works against you, and we've talked about that in other readings. And then I just pulled the Lover's card in reverse. So yeah, that to me just confirmed that a past union is still knocking you out of balance. It's making you confused. It's making it hard for you to focus on what fills your cup, what's important. Maybe you're actually getting really way too lost in fantasies and the idea of something instead of actually taking action on it. And the traditional Temperance card is an archangel, and it's an archangel who's got one toe dipped in water and one on land. It's very similar to the Star card in that sense of healing and balance and transmuting energy as well. So again, the creativity here. If you're feeling confused by your emotions, or you're having a hard time taking action, for some of you it's about the mental process. Wow, and then the Six of Air, or Six of Swords, just came flying out upright. We just transmuted something, everyone, because earlier we had the Six of Swords in reverse, and now it's upright, and we also got the Haya of Air, so that's the Page of Swords, with the Curandera of Water in reverse, which we previously had talked about spiritual protection. That is a card of spiritual baths with this deck. And then the Eight of Wands in reverse. Spirit has some strong messages suddenly coming through for somebody. It's a little intense, Spirit. Okay. Move to calmer waters by observing ways that you have not been able to give your love or communicate your passions. That's for somebody with Six of Swords, Page of Swords, King of Cups in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse, right? Because Eight of Wands is typically moving towards something very quickly, communicating, traveling, relocating, and just like really charging towards something you're very passionate about. In reverse, it means not doing that. And then we pulled the Nine of Swords upright. For some of you, somebody has been trying to sabotage you and keep you in your head. I'm just going to say it. The Nine of Swords underneath the Five of Swords in reverse. Someone is still trying to block you from moving forward on something, to offering your cup. They're keeping you stuck in your head, and you know, you've got peace available to you. You have a way to communicate here. You have a way to express yourself. So for some of you, you really need to focus on spiritual healing and setting strong boundaries, not just like with your words and your actions, but spiritually creating protective boundaries. Again, I have a pagan perspective, and this has been coming up in my readings a lot, and I feel Spirit coming through me very strongly right now, very sternly saying, this is not a joke for some of you. Some of you are meant for higher purposes. Some of you are highly psychic, which means you are more in tune with energies around you. And if there are other people, and unfortunately it's usually people who don't actually know anything about the craft, who don't actually know anything about intentions, who are working from their shadow to cast problems upon you because they find it entertaining to mess with people's lives. Some people will take it to that next level. And when you're a new spiritual practitioner, you learn very quickly how to put up energetic boundaries and blocks, and how to protect yourself, and how to surround yourself with love and light. So I think for some of us, we're going to do something real quick. If you don't want to be a part of this, I thank you so much. Again, feel free to hit the like button. If you would like to receive the shorter form versions of these videos in the future and the side messages, I will put all the links in the comments of this video's community post in the community section on my channel. Okay? Thank you so much for being a part of it. And again, if you're just curious and you're listening, cool. That's awesome too. Leave a little, I don't know, broom emoji if you're a fellow practitioner, or something witchy. I don't know, surprise me. It does help the channel. And now we have the Six of Pentacles again, equal give and take. Yeah, okay, so let's restore some balance here. I'm gonna do something different. Let's clear the energy real quick with the spell. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Third time's the charm. Wow, yeah, there's some I can offer guidance for spiritual healing if you are interested. If you are a friend or acquaintance of mine, definitely reach out, and this is a service I provide. My community that is interpersonally engaged with me. I do not do in-person healings, but I might be able to give you some guidance, because for someone in the collective that has been a part of these readings, there's something attached to you. I'm just going to say it. And this is why I had to disclaim that this was going to go a layer deeper. I can't tell you what's attached to you. I don't want to read into it that much. But if you do believe in these things and you do work with these things, it's either somebody you need to cut a cord with energetically, And some of you, someone's actually trying to put, how do I say this, an entity upon you to mess with your blessings, to keep you off your path. And I'm quite aware of some of the energies for some of you are also listening to this video. And I'm going to let you know that you are hereby banished and cut off from my energy and anyone you are choosing to do harm for. Or through, for. Oh, some of you are working for others. Yeah, I'm just letting you know right now, I'm not okay with hiring practitioners to curse or hex other people. That's not my jam. I work in the light. I help people heal and transmute and rise above. Because you know, that's the thing. If you focus on your creativity here, if you focus on what gives you love, if you don't let other people manipulate your thoughts or let the past manipulate you, you work on your healing and you move forward, you take action, eventually you will rise above these energies. And I don't mean that you'll be better than them, though if they're trying to cause harm, then of course naturally healing is going to make you better than them. We'll just be blunt here, right? But for those of you that are not trying to cause any problems, you're just trying to enjoy life, remember that you still need to protect yourself. And some of you are fierce protectors of other people, but you aren't for yourself. And you got to remember, if you deserve that reciprocation, again here with the Six of Pentacles, second time this has come up, about equal give and take, about generosity, right? It's all an even exchange, the law of equivalent exchange. You're working towards something great here. For some of you, it's about a deeper, stable union with somebody, with a business partner, with your life path, with your spirituality, with your work, with your own independence. We've got 4 or 5 different groups here. Some of you are also guides who are helping other people through this, and you're looking for ways to, you know, find new creative ways to express in your community, to shine your own lights, but not, you know, overshadow others. I'm going to pull some more cards here. I think that's as far as I'm going to go into the woo-woo on this particular part. Again, my business tagline is from the mundane to the mystical, or mystical to the mundane, whatever. We just pulled the 8 of Cups in reverse. Spirit is speeding up here, and the 9 of Cups. So, in reverse. Something you walked away from is going to try to come back, but it is not wish fulfillment for you. In fact, it's the devil. Yay! I don't mean to laugh, but that was so on point with exactly what we're talking about. And no, we're not talking about the devil being witchcraft. If you have that opinion, I mean, it's cool that you're still listening, but I don't understand. But that's okay. I don't need to understand everything. Maybe you're just curious. But I break stigmas, so just so you know. The devil is about temptation. It's about things that are not good for you. I usually read a more positive version of this card, like it being the card of mastery, the positive side to Capricorn, which it rules. But with this connotation, it's, yeah, someone from the past is either trying to mess with your personal wish fulfillment through nefarious ways, or someone nefarious from your past that you used to think was wish fulfillment is going to try to boomerang back into your life. So be ready, be warned, and remember what we said. Use your discernment, keep yourself emotionally regulated, and keep moving forward. Yeah, the 2 of Wands card here. This is a choice on your path, okay? You know you want to move forward quickly towards something. We had the Chariot, we had the Knight of Wands, right? So this is a choice. Do you want to keep repeating cycles? Do you really believe that you are not worth having your dreams come true? If so, you got to ask yourself, instead of repeating these thoughts over and over in your head, ask yourself, where did these thoughts come from? And again, this is where working with a medical professional would be really useful. Talk therapy. You don't have to get on medication. You don't have to do any of that. Again, this is not medical advice. It's advocacy, okay? for those of you that are part of the more anxious part of the community, you know that you have to learn how to regulate your thoughts, which will help you regulate your emotions. And that doesn't mean that you're controlling anything. It means that you're in balance, you're in harmony with yourself. So you can make these decisions, because people who are survivors of trauma, especially from childhood, have these family system behavioral patterns ingrained in them, and that's totally changeable. It doesn't make you broken. If you have trauma and these cycles and these patterns, you can actually free yourself. And earlier we had the liberation card, right? That's what you're moving towards. Anybody in this collective, not this collective, in the collective, can move towards liberty and freedom. Anybody can have that. It's a choice here. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to manifest? Are you going to let somebody make you feel like you're miserable? Whatever way they have an impact on your life. And for some of you, this is family. For some of you, this is family, okay? And I'm not talking about necessarily marriage, but like blood family, or, social family, or close friends that are like family. For some of you, it's also soul family. It's about finding your true soul family. And maybe your spiritual quest or a new union or going off on your own for a while is exactly what you need to find that. I mean, the Knight of Wands is that quest, that higher learning, that expansion. And here we had the Three of Wands earlier as well, which was about waiting for your ships to come in, but also already having set intentions. So this is about setting new intentions now. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or feels about your personal wish fulfillment, because it isn't for them. And if they think it's for them, then you got to question why they're in your life. And again, with the whole family thing, look, I'm biased. I have my own story, which I've told, and I've had to make some very hard decisions in my life in order to find my happiness and my personal wish fulfillment and to pursue my spiritual path, okay? I come from a background of a Christian family, and I was never allowed to explore my gifts. Could you imagine being a psychic medium empath who was drawn to paganism and the occult since childhood and had essentially been gaslit their whole lives into believing that what they weren't, not just on the spiritual side, but life in general, was not their reality? So I know something about this, okay? I know something about this. I'm a part of the collective, and I find my own synchronicities and messages through my readings, because when I'm channeling, it's spirit speaking through me, and they encourage me to bring up certain personal things about my life so I can guide others. Because again, a good guide is somebody who has the wisdom of the experience, who can help navigate others through their dark nights, through their spiritual journeys, okay? And that's what I'm here to do. While I do appreciate being able to earn a living based on my gifts, which, by the way, if this hits your heart space, feel free to donate or tip to me. The description box has my Venmo and PayPal links. I really, really appreciate it. So anyways, most of my work here is of service. Okay, so the Haya of Fire just came out. So again, that's the Page of Wands, like we were talking about earlier. I feel like some of you are getting worked up. I'm going to take a deep breath here. I suggest you do the same. So I think it's interesting that Break the Chain, or The Chain by Fleetwood Mac, this is a cover of it. It's an excellent cover, but came up as we're talking about family, right? Some of you are generational curse breakers. Some of you are truth speakers. Some of you are meant to not continue the family system dynamics. And that's why you're going through your journey, because your soul decided to go through this journey. And it requires a lot of courage and bravery. And sometimes it requires walking away from people, not only that aren't good for us, but people we love as well. And I'm not encouraging anybody to walk away from their families, okay? That is not at all what I'm saying. Okay? But what I'm saying is that for some of us in the collective, we have to lead by example. And this Two of Wands with the Page of Wands, this is about choosing your new beginning. You may feel like you don't know how to proceed, and that's normal with anything new, right? But again, the positive side of the Devil card over here is that when you put the work in and day out consistently, you can build a life for yourself. You can master something by being consistent with your choices. And that also applies to the negative side of things, right? If you continue to pour into things that you know are not making you happy, you are creating more things to be unhappy about. But if you make the brave choice to pour into things that do make you happy, that make you feel better, and you start to feel free again, and you start to feel like you can breathe, it makes you want to create more of that. And then you see your life transform. And then all of a sudden you start waking up, and instead of dreading what you have to do, for those of you going through a dark night will know what I'm talking about, you will start to wake up and be like, oh wow, I get to do all these things today. And you'll be excited about life. And you're going to be that obnoxious, positive person in your friend group, but that's also going to signal to you who you're vibing out of your existence. Because as you do work on yourself, your frequency does change, and you stop aligning with toxic people of the past. Naturally. Some of you haven't quite crossed that threshold yet. And I'm telling you, it's okay to choose you. It's okay to choose you. Also, if you've been with a toxic person or an unhealed person, whatever you want to call it, and you are trying to move away from that, you're not a bad person. And anybody who tries to mess with your thoughts and mess with your actions or try to get you to second guess things, do not have your best interest at heart. You think they're thinking about the choice of you? You think any of that, whether they're a friend, whether they're a partner? I'm starting to feel really fired up about this, so I gotta get out this energy. Yeah, we just pulled the Nine of Pentacles card. That is the independence card. If you want to be independent, you have to think independently. You have to gain a higher perspective with the High Priestess like we had, right? You have the ability to be stable here. Remember, we had the Four of Pentacles, so you already have some kind of foundation as far as your material world. That could also mean you have some kind of foundation in your community. And it's possible that's one of the reasons why it's difficult for some of you to move on from a community, because it's all you've ever known. But if you want something different in your life, you have to start accepting change and moving towards it. And there's the Five of Pentacles. I mentioned earlier that I was glad we didn't see that. You have to come out of a lack mentality. I'm actually glad that it came here. From the Nine of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. So in order to find your independence, you really must focus on where you felt like you lack, why you feel like you lack there, and ask yourself, is it true? Or is this everything that everybody has told me about? Look at your actions. And if you don't align with your actions, figure out how you can align with your actions. For some of you, this is about feeling like you're out in the cold, like you're not a part of a group, like you don't have enough, whether that's emotional fulfillment, intellectual stimulation, spiritual connection, deep loving relationships, or the feeling of stability within yourself. I think that pretty much covers everyone here that we have been talking about today. Again, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. One of my life theme songs has come on, Angel by Massive Attack. Yes, that is one of my favorite songs of all time. I'm so glad. It's one of my deep synchronicities. I don't know why I needed to mention that, but yeah, I just pulled the Queen of Pentacles. So here we are back full circle to the Queen of Pentacles, to the stable, nurturing, receptive, energy, who has all comforts in life, who has something to offer, including that equal give and take. For some of you, this is a person you want to move towards that makes you feel stable, that doesn't make you feel lack, that actually makes you feel quite abundant, and they have a lot to offer you. I just picked that up for some of you. Wow, the Star. This is somebody you can have profound healing with, or somebody you highly value. Wow, Eight of Swords. Interesting. You've really been caught up in your head about this person or this aspect of yourself that you need to heal. What advice can we give the collective about this, Spirit? This seems like a side message. Ace of Cups. Ooh, I just got chills. Offer your cup of love, or Spirit's offering you a new start in love or creativity. It's telling you to stop telling yourself that you don't deserve love, that you don't deserve to heal, that you don't deserve a stable relationship. For some of you, that's very, very true here with the 4 cards here, the Star, 8 of Swords, Ace of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and the Magician just came out. So you have the ability to manifest your reality. You have everything you need to live the life of your dreams. You just have to believe it, and you have to accept it. You have to accept love in order to have it, in order to create more of it, right? How can you create more love in your life? And again, I talked about transmuting through creativity, right? King of Wands in reverse. Curandera of Fire. For some of you, you're afraid to be brash. You're afraid that you might be too bold or come across as arrogant, or angry and impulsive, not a good leader. Some of you are very down on yourself and don't believe that you have the right to lead. That's for a very small select few of you. Some of you are just learning how to be more courageous about your magic, about what you can create, and understanding that you do have the power to direct your own life, to lead your own life. And we just pulled the 6 of Cups. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the reading, we had the 6 of Cups in reverse, and that was about somebody or some kind of connection from the past. So there's another deep love here that you can find either within yourself or others. I'm going to say with others because the 6 of Cups is kind of like a sense of family. So maybe it's time to find your spiritual family, especially with the King of Wands in reverse. The Wands cards are magic. They are manifestors. They are leaders and spiritual guides in their own way. They're also fighters, and they create. For some of you, this could be about finding a sense of community with your spirituality. And it doesn't have to be pagan. It doesn't have to be any of those things. It could be with a church. It could be with, heck, it could be with like people who do yoga together. Yoga is very spiritual. It could just be something that makes you feel spiritual. Maybe being in nature. This 6 of Cups card is it's this beautiful lace tablecloth with what looks like, this might be lilac